Game number 16 is called Megalonia, although I can guarantee that there is nothing mega about it. Megalonia is yet another scrolling shooter where you fly a ship that looks like a flying bong and shoot down all the other ships. There's nothing about this game that stands out from any of the other scrolling shooters, it's the same shit. In fact, it even shares some of the same glitches that Star Evil had. Remember that one where the boss never fucking showed up? That glitch is back. I mean, what is it with the boss not wanting to show up? Again, this leaves you no choice but to fucking reset the game. So if the boss doesn't show up on something like level 5, you're gonna have to suffer the whole goddamn game again. Whoa. That's the 40th problem. Now if the boss does show up, you're gonna wish he hadn't because he's one of the biggest pain in the asses in video game history. Basically you have to fly around this very limited space, because if you fly into the blocks you die, and you have to wait for an opportunity to get a hit out of the boss. This can take quite a while since you have to be very careful not to get hit by these tiny bullets that he fires at you. Other than that, this is just a crappy scrolling shooter that you should avoid like the plague. And no, nothing fucking happens when you complete the game. Nothing ever happens when you complete the game. You're just sent back to level 1. The end. Bada bing bada boom. The next game is French Baker. As you can see, this game is exactly the same as Illuminator and Chillout, with very, very, very minor differences. In fact, the differences are so minor, it's almost as if you're playing exactly the same game, again and again and again. And again. Well, this time you find yourself playing as a baker, hence the title, French Baker. And you have to throw rolling pins at walking hot dogs, cupboards, some sort of dinner trolley, and donuts. Could this game get any more creative? Also, I'm not gonna bash this game for not being realistic, but can you think of a kitchen that has 3 floors with ladders connecting them? I mean, it'd be a little awkward to carry a tray of food up a ladder, but Action 52 says differently. Now, as you can imagine, there are some piss poor things wrong with this game. It's definitely a game that flickers way too much, and as such should be avoided if you're epileptic. In fact, it should be avoided anyway. Also, sometimes the chef seems to be walking, even though he's standing still. So he's kinda like doing this. Which of course makes perfect sense. There's also a slight problem with the enemies being really cheap, like sometimes they appear out of nowhere and kill you. But sometimes the enemies are just retarded, like this one here for example, who's got himself stuck in the ladder. Yet another sign that none of these games were tested before the game was released. And that's another 4 problems I just mentioned. Whoa, that's getting high. Now we're on to game 18. Not that anyone gives a fuck. This time it's Atmos Quake. And you know that if a title has anything to do with space, it'll likely be a scrolling shooter. Now, like the game Thrusters, this is one of those scrolling shooters that is quite glitchy later on in the game. The game itself is as easy as taking a piss. All you have to do is keep tapping the A button and it seems almost impossible to die, so long as you maneuver your ship properly. The only thing that actually killed me was the very poor hit detection. You see, I clearly never hit that fucking purple thing, but the game thought I did. This entire cartridge is retarded. Ah well, the poor hit detection brings us to 45 problems. Oh, and while I'm talking about the colour purple, let's take a look at all the purple things in this game. I mean, this is almost as realistic as Operation Full Moon, where they made the moon pink. But that glitch is nothing compared to the one in level 5, which actually prevents you from completing the game. Your ship starts exploding all over the place for no fucking reason, which means that you can hardly get past this blue thing, never mind the whole level. As I just mentioned 2 problems there, that now brings us to 47. On to the next game. Meong, or Meong, or Meong, or... I'm not really sure how the fuck you pronounce this one. Something like Meong, or Meong, or Meong, or something like that. Now, a lot of people don't know how the fuck to play Meong, and even if they did, I can't see them actually wanting to play this game, because it's completely shit. In Meong, you're this weird thing that says A52 on it. Gee, I wonder what that could stand for. Now, I'm gonna explain the rules the best I can here, but you might still be a bit clueless. Basically, what you have to do is move upwards across this board, and on every square you have to wait about 2 seconds for the game to show you these flickering danger spots. If you step on one of these danger spots, you explode. And also if you stay on one square too long, you explode. All you have to do is memorize where all the danger spots are, and you don't die. Nothing much more can be said about this game, because it's completely boring and surprisingly there's no glitches at all, which I think is a first. The 20th game, Space Dreams, and because it has a reference to space in the title, this is guaranteed to be another shitty scrolling shooter. However, this scrolling shooter is completely fucking ridiculous, and it seriously makes you wonder what they were smoking when they made this game. You have to play as a baby's dummy and shoot down evil, terrifying enemies, such as palm bears, safety pins, a giant letter A, voodoo dolls, and building blocks. It's obvious that this was meant to be a game for little kids, but like Dam Busters, I wouldn't let children near this game or they'll turn out to be like Liza fucking Minnelli. Believe it or not, this game has absolutely no glitches in it, but it is ridiculously easy. All you have to do is either keep tapping the A button or simply avoid the enemies as they go by. One of the few things that could actually cause you trouble in this game are the random purple circles that sort of blend in with the background. At first I thought they were just part of the scenery, and then I fucking died. Well, to sum this whole game up quickly, if you know what 1 plus 1 is, you can easily complete this game. Only to be sent back to the fucking first level like everything else! Game number 21. Oh, this cartridge seems to fucking go on forever. This game is called Streamers. Yay. I believe you play as some sort of dog in a party hat and have to shoot these red streamers out of your dick to get onto the next platform. This really reminds me of Spider-Man and how he shoots his web. But never mind, not that Spider-Man shoots his web out his dick, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Throughout the game, you'll come across these random dogs in suits and all of these money bags that just seem to be lying around. Now you think you could be able to pick these money bags up, but no, they fucking kill you! Now this is completely fucking ridiculous because I know that when I touch this money here, nothing is going to... Bad idea. There's also little bunnies in hats lying around, but they don't seem to do anything. Now, we haven't had a problem in a long time, which is actually quite surprising, so here's one for you now. Some of the platforms in this game are a real bitch to get onto, because you have to be standing in a very specific place. And when I say very specific, I fucking mean very specific. I mean, if you're 1 pixel out of place, you can't get onto the next platform. Come on, get your ass up there, bitch! Oh, fuck! Come on! Now you're not gonna believe how I actually got up there. Take a look at this. That's not the platform he's meant to hook onto. Not that I'm complaining, it's just really fucking weird. Eventually, I found out how it's meant to be done. You have to be standing right at the very fucking edge of the platform. So far to the edge that you're 1 step away from falling off. Now you have no idea how hard it is to position this, because if you press a button too hard, he fucking falls off. Which means that you have to press it extremely lightly. Sort of like this. Now this is really annoying because it's too easy to fall off on one of the higher platforms, which means you have to start all over again if you press a button too hard. I'm pretty sure this is impossible to do without save states, unless you have no strength in your body at all and press buttons like a 3-year-old girl. Anyway, that's 2 extra problems. One because he hooked onto the wrong platform, and another because sometimes it's simply too fucking hard to get onto a platform. Which takes us to 49. And guess what? You're sent back to level 1 when the game finishes. Gee, what a surprise.